It is time for to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy.
Weekend Observations is presented by Miller Lite. Hold on. Pause here. Hold on, sorry. I can't hear the beeps. Thank you.
You sound like you've had a rough weekend.
Well, the first joke was going to be Weekend Observations presented by Miller Lite, and my voice is presented by Vegas. But I didn't hear the beeps, so we had to start and then start again. Weekend Observations is presented by Miller Lite, and my voice is presented by Las Vegas. Dan, after missing 3 weeks of action, during which his team performed just as well without him as they did with him, leading some to question whether his impact was overrated. He missed the entire first quarter of action, but checked into the second quarter and posted a plus 20 in 7 minutes against the best team in the league. And just like that, make no mistake, Victor Wembanyama is back. Wemby. Might have been the first time I've actually considered he could be the greatest player of all time.
Whoa.
Yeah. Dan, the best team in the league, looked terrified every time he was on the floor. It was so undeniable that he changed the entire complexion of that game just by checking in. I finally felt it. I was like, oh, yeah, this is it. In the words of comedian Jamel Johnson, that shit with the monks might be working. Dallas Cowboys, they got a bed. It's a beautiful bed with a Duxiana mattress. Zaz, you know about that Duxiana mattress?
Nah.
It's a really expensive mattress.
Whatever.
800 thread count sheets.
Wow.
Goose down filled pillows. And then they proceeded to take a fantastic dump in the middle of it. In other words, the Cowboys shit the bed. Buffalo Bills spotted the Patriots 24 points. Then remembered my immaculate Dentec grit of punishment record. And they kept me undefeated. Teflon. Headline. Oldest man ever plays NFL game and manages not to die. Seriously, how does he do it? Phillip Rivers took 5 years off and still ended up down 1 score marching down the field with 2 minutes to go. Incredible. The Cleveland Browns have a tight end named Harold Fannin. The name like that, he sounds like he could be an accountant. Top 5 NFL player names that could be accountants. OLI, Harold Fannin. OLI, Pat Freiermuth. Number 5, Pete Gogolak. Number 4, George Kittle. Number 3, Barry Sanders. Number 2, Greg Dulcich. And the number 1 NFL player name that could also be an accountant name, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Whoa. Wait a minute. What about Andrew Van Ginkel?
That's a good one, but it's my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg Cody,
Yeah.
good seeing you.
Thank you, Amin. How you doing?
How about those Dolphins?
I'm telling you what, they're alive longer than the Chiefs are. How about it?
How about it, indeed? Speaking of the Chiefs, Natalie Imbruglia, big Chiefs fan. She's all out of faith. This is how she feels. Mahomes is on the ground clutching at his knee. Delusion never changed. Into something real.
Nothing's fine, I'm torn.
She's wide awake and knows that Mahomes' ACL is torn, actually. Too soon? NBA Cup. I tried to get to my seat in the middle of the row. The guys in the aisle seats got up real quick. I think they were terrified of the hog. I went in backside facing because the unspoken covenant was observed. I emceed... So dumb. I emceed the Steve Nash Foundation Soccer Showdown in Phoenix this last weekend. Huge success. Lots of money raised for kids in underserved communities. Great turnout by Olympians, World Cup winners, and NBA Hall of Famers. Plus, I managed to drop a North Korea joke. The crowd loved it. I don't think they're going to ask me to MC it next year. It's a shame. This week on Cinephobe, episode 293, Rush Hour 3, a movie that considered casting Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal as the villain, but ended up casting Roman Polanski. If you don't get that joke, I kindly direct you all to the legal history section of Roman Polanski's Wikipedia page. Cinephobe, wherever you get podcasts. Speaking of villains, Desmond Bain, quickly becoming one of my favorite purveyors of shenanigans in the league. Needlessly escalating situations, then telling the ref, I'm just trying to protect my guy. I love it. Anthony Black, still reeling from that Jalen Brunson crossover. Shout out to my guy Marlon at the Aria. Big DLS fan. Michelle Beadle. I hate her.
What?
Michelle Beadle. Acting an absolute fool at the Spurs game. Then flagging down Adam Silver. Then having a 10-minute conversation with him in the middle of the game. Then says, let's go gambling. Says to me, I know the loosest slots on the strip. I sit down. I tell her, what do I do? She said, put the money in there. I said, okay, now what? She says, tap this setting. I said, cool. And I said, now what? She said, hit that button. I hit it. In 22 seconds, I blew through all my money. Michelle Beadle says, you're doing it wrong. Puts in her money. Chooses the same setting. Presses the same button.
Get out of here.
$6,000.
What? Get out of here.
One push, $6,000.
Wait a minute.
Proceeded to do this 4 or 5 more times.
No, not $6,000.
Dan, the guy had to come from the back, put in like a nuclear launch key code, punch in some stuff, and then someone with a briefcase showed up and just handed her stacks of money. If I wasn't there, I would have said I'm a liar. I saw it with my own eyes.
And you were done in 22 seconds.
22 seconds.
Did she give you any money?
Hell no.
Slots are stupid.
Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Those are the weekend observations.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Is Desmond Bain a needless purveyor of shenanigans? Also put on the poll, Dan's worst mistake, confusing John Cena and Kurt Angle or calling the Hurricanes of Larry Coker worse than the Tigers of Coach O. Can you tell me, please, catch me up, and I want to get Amin's opinion on this, on the things with Dylan Brooks and LeBron James that continue to escalate.
Yeah, like Amin, that was crazy last night, right? So the Suns and the Lakers played. Lakers blew a 20-point fourth quarter lead. And, you know, Dylan Brooks and LeBron were going at it all throughout the game. But shit really got wild like in the fourth quarter. And there was one sequence where Dylan Brooks slapped a ball that hit LeBron like in the chest. And LeBron went crazy, like resulting in LeBron grabbing back and forth the referee. I mean, you touch
not many people can get away with that.
Like you touch a referee, you're getting thrown out. He's grabbing the referee and like yanking him back and forth. He did get a technical foul. And then with 10 seconds left in the game, Dylan Brooks hit a 3 to give the Suns the lead. LeBron totally fouled him, no call. And then when Dylan Brooks got up, he got up in LeBron's face because they had no timeouts left, like to D him up and like aggressively to D him up. And LeBron totally flopped. And it was Dylan Brooks' second technical foul. So he got ejected. And then LeBron was fouled. Very controversial final play right after that on a 3 by Devin Booker. He hit 2 or 3 free throws. Lakers win. Amin, did I leave anything out?
No, that's pretty exhaustive.
I mean, like LeBron's behavior was kind of ridiculous, no?
I mean, Dylan Brooks is really annoying. Mm-hmm. Let's start there. And then we can also throw in that Dylan Brooks, by the words of his own teammates, he blacks out when he's out there sometimes. Like, we all think it's this calculated Dennis Rodman-esque masquerade to try and get under people's skin. But apparently, like, no, he really is, like, not present of mind in terms of, like, knowing what's happening. He's just in his own little world. And so, you know, you could say LeBron flopped, but also Dylan Brooks you got to know time and scoring situation and what you can and can't do. He didn't get called for a foul. He got called for a technical foul because he wasn't just D'ing him up. He was going above and beyond. And part of being a vet in this league is knowing when someone is running in the red and not under control and using that against them. And LeBron, I thought, did a great job of doing that last night.
Greg Cody, the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody is featuring this week Dave Barry and his holiday gift-giving guide. I don't know how good all of you are at giving gifts, but what is, and I want to ask Amin how good or bad he is at giving gifts, but what did you cover with Dave Barry in the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody?
He's got an array of wonderful gifts. His gift guide is not in the Herald this year for the first time ever. He's on Substack now, so go follow him on Substack or listen to my podcast to find out all these crazy gifts. One of them is a can full of fish balls, but my favorite was the toilet with a mirror on it. So if you've ever had a desire to watch yourself wipe, this is the gift for you.
It's supposed to be helpful.
Yes, it's supposed to be helpful.
A mirror you can put on your toilet so that when you're wiping, you can really make sure
so
you're
that
getting
you can
everything.
be accurate. For those of you who need help wiping.
Can you think of anything you'd rather see less?
It's a bad gift.
No, it's a great gift.
It's not a great
If you've ever had the desire.
You can't give that to someone you care about. It is not a great gift. You can't give it to someone you care about.
Well, then give it as a joke. I mean, seriously.
Why is it not appearing in the Herald for the first time ever? This is an annual tradition that his column appears in the Miami Herald. This particular column is very popular.
Oh, yeah, and it is on Substack as well, and hopefully with my listeners and viewers.
But why doesn't it appear in the Herald? You're promoting it fine. You're not answering my question or coming close to answering my question.
I don't know. I don't want to get in Dave Barry's personal business with the Miami Herald. I can just tell you. Dan? I can just tell you that this year it's on Substack.
I mean, what
only.
kind of gift giver are you?
I'm a terrible gift giver. That's why I adopted the whole philosophy of I don't believe in holiday and birthdays, because I don't like giving gifts. Just that part of my brain doesn't exist. Not like the part of my brain where I don't want to give a gift. The part of my brain of knowing what is a good or a bad gift. And because that stresses me out, I tell people, don't bother with my birthday, and that way I don't have to bother with yours. Really, it's all a defense mechanism.
Do you get mad at somebody if they get you a birthday gift? Like,
Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely.
I really get upset. I get upset.
Tell you what, my
do I
birthday's
do?
next month. Feel free to get me something.
Do you have any?
You know what I'll get you?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dan.
No.
Yeah, no. I'll get you the mirror for the toilet,
Yes,
so you can
thank you.
see when you're wiping.
There you go.
Sound like a good gift.
Do you have any Giannis information for us on the way out? What do you think is going to happen here?
So I had a conversation with Kevin O'Connor on his podcast yesterday about Giannis and particularly the San Antonio Spurs. Should the Spurs make a move for Giannis? And I've been thinking about it a lot, Dan, and especially after the game on Saturday night, my feeling is kind of like no, for a couple reasons. Number one, very realistically, looking at this team, and it's not just Wembanyama, it's Stephon Castle, it's De'Aaron Fox, it's Dylan Harper, all of these guys with marginal improvements, like just a steady improvement that we would expect of guys that young. They're going to be competing for an NBA championship within the next 2 years, right? So you start there. Then you say they're all on rookie scale contracts other than Fox. So it's like you have cost certainty, you've got low costs, you've got guys who are all around the same age group. Why would you cash those pieces in that will be championship contention worthy in no time for a guy who's in his 30s and makes a lot of money and is a very particular style of play? It's not a knock on Giannis. It's just, hey, we're baking this cake 400 degrees at 40 minutes. Why are we trying to jack it up to 800 degrees and shortchange this process? So I think I kind of logically went through it, and I'm not reporting it, but kind of feel like the Spurs are not going to be getting Giannis Antetokounmpo just because the cost does not outweigh, or it does outweigh the benefit that they're going to get from getting him.
I mean, it feels like the best time to do it was when they had the second pick in the draft, and you have the mystery box of, ooh, we have the second pick, package all those things, and try to get Giannis in the offseason. Now you already know what you have in Dylan Harper. Vassell's been good. Obviously, Stephon Castle's the best guy in that draft. Like, you start looking around, and the pieces are like, all right, we have these pieces. The best time would have been doing it during the NBA draft.
Yeah, but you know what's funny, Tony, is usually when we say that, we mean like, hey, now that we actually used the pick and got the guy, it's not quite as sexy to the other team. As far as acquiring, it's like, oh, it's a mystery box is somehow more tantalizing than a good player that you draft.
Let me pin you down, though. Hold on.
Go
ahead.
Hold on. Let me finish the point. But in this case, it's a case of however good the Spurs thought they were going to be on draft night, now playing 25 games,
they're better.
We're a lot better. So back in offseason, like, we can get Giannis. Oh, that'll put us in another echelon. But now it's like we're kind of already in that echelon without him.
He says he wants to play in the sun in a big market. You know any place that has one of those?
Anaheim. The Anaheim Amigos.
All right, go ahead and get rid of him. There is no such thing as the Anaheim Amigos, a useless contribution by him.
Hold on, Greg. The Anaheim Amigos, you're here with me? And the San Diego Conquistadors, where do they play, Greg?
Damn right, ABA, baby.
Thank you.
Hello. See you later. Get out of here. Not what I wanted to hear from you. I wanted to ask you about Miami. Giving me the basketball team in Anaheim, not helpful, not useful. But you got to throw the show to Greg so he could help
Thank
you.
You, Amin.
So
just
good.
like we planned it.
Vegas really got that, man.
Yeah, that's a problem with Vegas and him. They shouldn't be together. It doesn't result in good things after the weekend. Tony, your beloved Jags, they have, since the Week 8 bye, they're averaging 33 points a game, and they've scored 25 in 7 straight games. Jacoby Myers makes a pretty giant difference for them all.
And
what's up, Trevor?
Changing also the offensive scheme from going from Brian Thomas Jr. to literally anybody else seems like it's working. And Trevor Lawrence has been playing great football. Liam Cohen, that's why I was so high on the Jags when they made the move to go get him. He was a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff with Baker having such a good resurgence in his career. It's like if we can start moving that over a little bit north to 904, all of a sudden Trevor Lawrence could be somebody that in this conference, why can't the Jags make a run?
Cody, do you have any opinions here? Because the AFC feels like it's filled with flawed teams.
It does. I would put the Chargers probably on top of the AFC along with Buffalo.
Their offensive line problems are too big.
It's
Greg.
true.
Herbert can't be hit that much. You're just asking for him to get hurt. He's getting hit more than any quarterback in the league. He's already playing a little physically broken.
That's fair. I would probably put Buffalo and the Chargers, despite what you say, on top of
Greg, but
wide open.
The Jags beat the Chargers 35-6.
And Denver. Don't sleep on Denver.
You just slept on them while
you
just woke from your slumber to remember that Denver was in there.
Right.
You can't say don't sleep on Denver while sleeping on Denver.
No, I almost slept on them.
No, you were.
I was
you
drowsing.
Were napping.
No. Here's what happened.
Napping.
Here's what happened. It was me. So let me express what happened because I was the one living it. I was drowsing.
No,
you were laying in your bed. You were crisscross applesauce.
Right. Yes, which I can do again.
People around here cannot be trusted to be correct about their self-assessment. For example, I have now been told that we have located an assortment of Zaz tweets from the last 13 years that say the same things about Jimmy Cephalo and the Dolphin broadcast that are being quoted in the article on Awful Announcing. It seems obvious to me. It seems obvious to me that you are one of the sources on this Awful Announcing list of worst local NFL broadcasters. They're putting up. Look at you. You're being very critical there. Matthew, if you had Jimmy Cephalo calling them the Redskins in the first quarter, you're a winner. Is what it is. You're just you're coming after Jimmy Cephalo from a number of different angles. God forbid Jimmy Cephalo can tell the difference between Jarvis Landry and Devontae Parker.
Oh, it's an old one.
Devontae Parker.
Similar build.
Man, I thought he and Jay Cutler were going to be magic
This
together.
Jimmy Cephalo is so awful. In the car for just a few minutes, and you have no idea what's happening.
It's true.
But you're heckling Jimmy Cephalo
10 years later,
Twitter.
still true.
In the car for 1 minute, already have Cephalo calling him Jakeem Hunt.
Who's he even talking about there?
Good start for Jimmy Cephalo. First drive of the game, and he doesn't realize how the field flips after the 50. Think the 33-yard line is the 27.
That's a major error, Dan.
First time I've listened to the Dolphins radio call in a long time. First two, it was sacked, then it was intercepted, ended up incomplete. Cephalo still got it.
That was this year. I remember
That's the play I was talking about.
That was this year.
It seems obvious that you were the source on this. Well, what?
It's tough to deny at this point.
Yeah.
Evidence is mounting.
Another couple of football things that I wanted to get to. I just want to check in week to week as we do around here. Jerry Jones, still a good GM?
No.
Michael Parsons got hurt.
I mean, you can't control that, but
Not this week? Okay.
Not anymore.
The other thing, and this probably shouldn't be something that happens quietly given that TJ Watt is pretty good. The collapsed lung thing seems kind of horrifying.
Yeah, sure does. Seems like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
So is this the Tyrod Taylor, the puncturing of the
Sounds
lung?
like it.
No, what is the collapsed lung information that we can? As I was reading some of the details on this, I was like, man, it had to be scary for TJ Watt. These guys have such high pain thresholds that by the time they get to the hospital, it's something that they really don't want to be doing. I can't imagine what was happening with the pain and the breathing.
Yeah,
on
like
this.
what happens when you get a collapsed lung? Can you still breathe? What happens?
it collapses.
Being serious.
You have the other lung. It's dry needling, though, different than the Tyrod Taylor situation,
What's
which he was
dry
taking
needling?
I think Dan does dry needling.
You know about that dry
It's
needle?
acupuncture. Acupuncture is dry needling, but I'm not gonna have needles on my lungs. That's just
It's a long needle, though, to go
Yeah.
dry needling. Acupuncture is like kind of very surface area,
Yes,
though, right,
very
Dan?
much
Like
so,
you're
yes.
talking about a needle that's going to go in 6 inches to into the back into your lung. Like that's kind of crazy.
Wow, just take an aspirin, will you? You could not pay me. Literally, you could not pay me to take a 6-inch needle in
But
my
you said
body.
earlier in the show you'd pay $11,000 not to see John Cena's
Well, I
last
would.
match.
Yeah, or any professional wrestling
If you
match.
paid $11,000, wouldn't you rather just go?
No. You know what I would do? I would go to that city, have a nice meal out. You know?
You can now.
What?
That's his Joe Zagacki. What is not the reaction of that, Greg, to inside jokes on the show that are
Right. Funny.
like what?
I
is
wanted
not-
more of the Zagacki, though. I needed, I need
Short-lived.
an Ed Williamson Cadillac reference. I need something.
Can you give me
Williamson is Miami.
the against the,
Louisville's going to win this bowl game.
the against the spread music, please?
That's right. Against the Spread is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings.
That's right.
The crown is yours. Roy, what do you got?
All right, we got Panthers at Lightning tonight. The Lightning are tied for the lead in the Atlantic Division with Detroit, but has lost 5 of the last 7, while the Florida Panthers have won 4 of the last 5. The underdogs in the Lightning's last 8 games have won 6 times, and that's what the Panthers are, and that's what I am going with tonight. The Panthers at 1.5 goals against the spread. Go with them tonight.
Mike Ryan.
I'm going to take the Texas Longhorns. It's minus 6.5.
Hey, give me that spin.
Things are going bad in Michigan, so I don't even know who's going to play, so I'm going to take the Longhorns.
Against the spread.
Against the spread.
The big news from yesterday's football play has to be Bills-Patriots, because we will get tired of even droning excellence in football, even in America's most popular sport, even when it comes to the Rams dragging the Lions, correct? The Rams are so consistently good at this point that becomes the lesser story. Them dragging the Lions and being unstoppable offensively becomes a lesser story. The 2 Rams losses that we've got this year are a bit fluky, right? They were up a giant amount against the Eagles and end up coughing up the game. But the Rams have been a special kind of excellent this year. But the football everyone's talking about is Bills-Patriots, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the game of the week, I think.
And it's because I don't believe that either the Bills or the Patriots are better than Rams or Lions. I don't believe that they're better than Rams or Lions. Do you? Do you guys both believe that game that we're talking about, because Josh Allen is coming back, because you've got sort of more future at quarterback than past, right? Because you're looking at the Lions and the Rams and you're thinking past, even though Stafford probably should win the MVP award, you're looking at the top of the division. You're looking at, in the Patriots, a team that historically has a storyline that makes people more interested in them. But yes or no, you guys agree with the assessment that both of the teams playing in Rams-Lions are better than both of the teams playing in Patriots-Bills?
I think the Rams are the best team of those four.
But
Clearly.
you're not willing to concede to me that the Lions are losing, at least in part, in that conference because they play in that conference, and it's harder than what it is that the Bills and the Patriots are doing.
I just don't think the Lions have the defense to be talked about as
But
a
the
Super
but the
Bowl
Bills
team.
and the Patriots have the record that they do is as good as it is, at least in part because they get to play all the Saints and all the Carolina and all the and the Bucks and all the crud in that division. Like it's the reason that their records are as good as they are. The Bills are an incredibly flawed team. They've got a great quarterback, and everything else about them is either injured or wrong.
I mean, their defense is really good.
The Bills?
No, the Rams. They're not a flawed team.
I'll back you
No,
up
the-
here. I got Detroit fourth in that group.
Really?
Fourth?
Yeah. I think if they,
I might
I think if
agree.
the Patriots and the Lions play 10 times,
I think offensively they're second. Like, I think offensively, I think the Rams are first. I think the Lions are better than the Bills, and I think the Lions are better than the Patriots.
I don't think it's like this huge gulf. I don't. I
And
think they're all
and that's
together.
fine. I'm just making something conversational here around what it is that happened yesterday and how much we love storylines, right? Because you can be droning excellence, which the Patriots and the Rams have been this season, and will follow the storyline of, Josh Allen was down 21. Drake May would like his MVP trophy. Josh Allen's not quite ready to give it away. And at the end of the game, even Vrabel is running scared from Josh Allen, even though he wants Drake May to take Josh Allen's position at the top of the conference. The Bills going into New England and doing that feels like more of a statement than we've gotten from anyone in the league over the last month of, nah, not yet. You're not ready for this yet. Your offensive line is injured, and you're going to need to do more than score 30 to beat us.
I mean, look, we could fast forward to the start of the playoffs. I would say the Bills, going into the playoffs, the Bills are going to be the top story, right? Going into the NFL postseason.
I mean,
No Patrick Mahomes, maybe no Lamar Jackson.
no Burrow.
No Burrow. This has to be the year for the Bills. I think the Bills are the most interesting story, AFC or NFC, once the playoffs begin.
And you can see them losing at Houston like they just
Yep.
did because Houston's defense is good. You can see them losing against Denver because Surtain is back and that defense is even better. You can see them losing to the Chargers because the Chargers defense can do that
Harbaugh.
at Kansas
and
City.
a bad matchup against the Jags, all of a sudden the Jags come out and you're like, oh, well, they beat the Bills. Like,
Yeah, everybody's flawed. Like Seattle, I think, is a really, really good team, but Sam Darnold leads the NFL in turnovers, including a bunch of
Can you do me a
fumbles.
favor, Jeremy? That stat I gave earlier in the show where I said there have been 6 times this season that the Bills have given up 185 or more rushing yards. They're 4-2 in those games. Can you tell me how many bad teams that's against and how many good teams that's against? Because you're not going to be able to allow that kind of rushing total, and Ed Oliver will make a difference there if he's healthy. But you will not win a playoff game against a good team allowing those rushing totals, even if you have Josh Allen. You're playing with too much fire there when they're 4-2, but they can't actually stop the run. And I thought the way the Patriots were going to beat them yesterday is the way that game started, which is just keep handing the ball off and keep Josh Allen off of the field. But the Bills end up scoring touchdowns on 5 straight drives in the second half out of nowhere because they couldn't continue to play the kind of football that just handed the ball off. I just don't think that you can have those kinds of weaknesses on defense and win 3 playoff games. Like that's asking so much of Josh Allen as to be unreasonable, and he'll end up getting blamed for running into one of these bad defenses if a team like Houston slows him in Houston.
But aren't they always asking so much of Josh Allen? And then he's just going up against Patrick Mahomes in the end. And it's too much to ask at that point because Patrick Mahomes can make the very same plays.
But he's done so with better defenses than this one and less injured defenses than this one, and he's lost in the playoffs. Like, it's not Patrick Mahomes this time, but going up, if he's got to go through the equivalent, and I haven't looked at the brackets yet or how this shakes out, but that the defenses you have to go through are Denver, Houston, and the Chargers?
Yeah, but they have to go through Josh Allen.
Right now, they would face Jacksonville in the first round of the playoffs.
Josh Allen is a wizard. He's this incredible card to pull, and it's not like I understand the Bills are hurt and their defensive metrics aren't great, but I trust the personnel on the defensive side of the ball. Rousseau, Bosa, Milano, always making big plays. Are they supposed to get Ed Oliver back?
Ed Oliver tore his bicep in October, so it's going to be tough unless they make a super late playoff run, maybe late January, but it's going to be tough.
I trust the personnel on the defensive side of the ball to make a couple of plays to keep that in arm's length so Josh Allen can just be Josh Allen.
So the Bills are 4-2 in those games you mentioned, Dan. The rest of the NFL is 4-26 when they allow 185 rushing yards or more in a game. The 6 teams where this happened, the Ravens, the Saints, the Falcons, the Dolphins, the Buccaneers, and the Patriots. The 2 losses are to Atlanta and Miami.
All right. So you're going to have a hard time in the playoffs with that. If you're allowing a bunch of rushing yards, you're not going to be facing any bad teams in the playoffs.
No, but I do think Josh Allen is capable of scoring against a great defense. Like, I don't see Houston holding him to 17 points.
They did last time they played. But they held him to 19 the last time they played.
Okay, but that's tough doing twice in a row.
I mean, I get it. No Mahomes, maybe no Jackson this year in the playoffs, but they haven't made the Super Bowl any of those other years, and this will be the first year of all these years that they'll have to do it by winning 3 road playoff games. Like, this is literally going to be their toughest route to do it, and they've never been able to do it.
Well, clearly the NFC's better, and DraftKings' latest Super Bowl odds have the Rams as the favorite and Seattle Seahawks second. And then Denver and Buffalo are tied for third in the odds. So I think it's fascinating. I know TV is already bemoaning the absence of the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's going to be a fascinating playoff because for the first time in years, I think we're going into it saying any of 6 or 7 teams can be in a Super Bowl, and it will be a refreshing matchup.
The thing that happened though with the Chiefs yesterday, because I still maintain, even with the Bills and the Patriots playing that game, and even with the Rams and the Lions playing that game, the biggest story in the sport every week, and OKC is like this in basketball now. OKC, when they win, it doesn't matter. When they lose, people notice. Kansas City losing when it's been 9 straight divisions, 7 straight AFC championship games, and 3 straight Super Bowls. I was taken aback yesterday, even while just watching, for them to become the big story by being eliminated, when it got a whole lot worse than that the moment that Mahomes went down that way. And everyone started questioning, will they be able to get back up off of a knee, given the salary cap condition, given the age of their coaches, given how much money they've got tied up in Chris Jones, who didn't even know until after the game that he had been eliminated.
These guys are so dialed in.
No, that doesn't sound dialed in. That sounds the opposite of dialed in, to not know that you've been eliminated. Listen to Chris Jones. They got a lot of money tied up in Chris Jones. Listen to Chris Jones after the game saying, I didn't know that we were eliminated.
Still have a fighting chance. Are we out of the playoffs? We are? Okay.
That's the whimpering end of a dynasty right there. Like that's that.
I'm sorry. We're out.
Like, go ahead and play that again. So that it's just I didn't have it all going like this, where we were just sort of like, is that over? Is it all over? Is it over forever?
Still have a fighting chance. Are we out of the playoffs? We are. Okay.
Wow, guy didn't follow current events.
I like the reporter who, once he says we still have a fight, he's like, wrong.
He was looking out in the crowd. You can hear him like, we still got to fight.
Is that
chance,
someone
right?
just doing
Somebody?
Like
wrong.
And somebody's like shaking their head, and he's like, we got to fight chance. No, okay.
You can hear the spot where he sees a reporter saying, no, basic math has eliminated you guys. You didn't know that, did you?
Are we out of the playoffs? We are. Okay.
That's how I felt when you guys told me had 17 first-rounders and LSU had 7.
Are we out of the playoffs? We are. Okay. Okay.
You guys...
It's a squeaky chair.
Did you guys... Let me hear it again.
Okay.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
We need some WD-40 on that chair. Sounds like a rusty gate swinging open.
Are we out of the playoffs? We are. Okay.
You guys think that the football watching fan had the same sort of reaction I did, which is I was tuning in to see the funeral. Oh, this is a little worse than I thought it was going to be, because now is this going to go into the middle of next season? You can't have there's only one injury on that team that can happen like that to make it feel like that. And it was like, oh, is this really over? Am I overreacting to say the whole thing is over now because they're going to have to wait until the middle of next season, and they're still going to be throwing Chad Henne out there as the backup quarterback?
Gardner Minshew.
No, I'm saying it's going to be Chad Henne.
Where's Chad Henne? I'm going to look where Chad Henne is.
I'm saying it's going to be Chad Henne
sure
at the
fishing
beginning
right
of
now.
next season.
He's coming back like Rivers, Chad Henne.
I don't think it's to the middle of next season. The guy's come back from that ACL way quicker.
9 to 12 months. What if he's the 12?
Sometimes it can. We've seen guys get hurt there and be ready for the beginning of the season.
Chad's last season, 2022 for the Chiefs. So he's been
Again,
out for
I'm
a couple
still,
years,
I know, but it's still going to be Chad Henne. I know everybody.
He had
got
that one big
excited
first
about
down, though, Dan. You remember? He had that one
it.
drive.
Yeah, long drive.
And that's the point with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen him so many times, a leg go this way, a knee go that way, and then he just gets up and continues to play. And this time it was like, oh, no, wait, this is like really bad.
I've always wondered about how he'd age. He's a big guy, and he leans on his athleticism. That's going to be diluted coming off of that knee injury. And I know it happened at the exact same time Brady's happened, but Brady was playing a different ball game.
Oh, my God. Stop comparing him to Brady.
Walking in his footsteps, as.
This is the first time since 1998 we're going to have a postseason in the NFL that won't have Manning, Brady, or Mahomes.
I was 3 years old.
Funny.
It's the holiday season, and it is the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite, which means a lot of my favorite memories start the same way. I bring out a cornucopia of beautiful white Miller Lite cans, and I spread that holiday cheer. Ah, Miller Lite, holiday season. You crack open a Miller Lite, you look around, you look at your friends, you look at your family. You take that first sip, and you know you made the right call. Miller Lite just fits. It's taste that you know you can depend on. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients like malted barley, rich balanced toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. Almost festive in a way. And at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it lets you enjoy the season without weighing you down. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 50 years later. The best holiday beers are the ones you don't expect. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories at 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
We've got some polls to get to. Juju would like to speculate recklessly. We've got a top 5 list to get to as well. But would you like to introduce, Greg Cody, would you like to help us introduce Juju's playa of the day?
What do you...
So, no, you don't want to do it, okay?
Now it's time for the player of the day.
Do the intro for it. Now it's time for...
Oh, I do the big broadcast voice. Now it's time for Juju's player of the game.
Of the day.
All right.
Of the
We'll
day.
work on it. We'll work on it.
No, we'll not work
I'll
on
put
it.
that
No,
over
It needs
Tuesday.
work.
just strip him of the responsibility.
Oh, okay.
It's a failure. We've deduced it's a failure, and it's not one of those failures that is camouflaged. It's a learning. It's just a failure. Time now for Juju's playa of the day. We don't have any music, but we're going to find out who it is.
Good enough.
Congratulations, Greg. That is a great example
Thank you
of
very
you
much.
petering out toward the end of the show.
Appreciate it.
Who is
Thank
the
you.
playa of the day, Juju?
Yes, sir, man. Happy to be here. Happy holidays, everybody. But yesterday during the 49ers game, my boy Brock Purdy got beside himself, man. He pump faked the ball in the defender's face, then ran out of bounds. But after the game, he was like, what was I thinking there? I'm so sorry. I apologize. And I would like to normalize apologizing because people don't do that no more. People be like, I misspoke, and they'll just still hang on to the misstep, the misspeak for some reason. No, admit you was wrong, and my brother did that. So salute to Brock Purdy for apologizing yesterday.
That is the only thing about that 49ers game we've talked about. We didn't talk at all about the Bears game. There was a play in that game. I don't know if you guys saw it. It wasn't among my listed plays that no one is talking about. But Jerry Jeudy just had a ball ripped from him in the end zone for an interception. And the Bears are better at turning over people than anybody in the league. 29 times they have done that this season. Juju, what do you have for us in terms of the top 5 things in sports you want out of your life? What is the triggering of this list? What caused you to start thinking about this?
Yes, sir, man. Yesterday I was watching the games, man. It was just a lot. It was a lot jumping off the screen, man. But before I say this list, I brought up Brock Purdy apologizing and having his accountability because I want to have some too. I had the right and the nerve to put up Dan was wrong hoodies when you've been telling us all year about these damn Chiefs. So I got to admit that I was wrong by saying Dan was right. You feel me? Come on, man. Accountability.
That is not going to be a shirt that sells at LeBatardAF.com. Dan was right. Although I am going to have Valerie buy me one for Christmas. Thank you.
Right. But yeah, I was watching the games yesterday, and so I was like, you know what? I need to come up with a little list for stuff I don't want to see no more in the NFL. Number 5, OLI, the flopping, man. The quarterback's flopping.
Is that number 5 or OLI? Those are two different things. OLI is not number 5. That's just OLI.
Look at there. Accountability, opportunity again. I misspoke, ladies and gentlemen. I messed it up. That's on me. That was the OLI, for sure, the OLI. Number 5, taunting flags in the NFL. Come on, man. We playing this grueling sport. My job is to hit him over there. My job is to end his lights right now. And I can't even fist pump the wrong way. Come on, man. Meanwhile, LeBron James get the "This is Sparta" screaming Luke Cornett face for 12 seconds. Like, make it make sense.
He's so right about that. LeBron was able to get away with all of that just because he's LeBron, right? There's no other player in the league. There's not a player in the history of the league who would be allowed to do that.
I mean, Dan, he manhandled a referee last night. Got a technical foul, is it?
Part of it is that Dylan Brooks is a nobody. He's got no credential to be the guy who's playing this role against LeBron
I don't know if he's a
James.
nobody.
Dylan Brooks is a good player.
I don't think he's a nobody.
Let me
Greg.
just say this. Dylan Brooks has made the same number of NBA All-Star teams as I have.
Sure, that's valid.
Okay.
If Dylan Brooks walked into the studio right now, would you be able to tell it was him?
Yeah, I think so.
He's not a nobody, though, Greg. He's not a nobody.
He is, relatively speaking.
Well, everybody is. To LeBron James, everybody is.
Well, you know
Who's
what
not Messi?
I'm talking about a player of some stature who can be on that level with LeBron James in that kind of a relationship, in that kind of a contentious relationship.
He scores like 20 points a game.
He's a good player.
He's averaging 22 points a game.
As far as I'm concerned, unless I'm wrong, he has never averaged 20 points a game, ever. Not his best
Unless
season.
he's wrong.
Unless he's wrong as far as he's concerned.
This would be the first
there
season
are
he
some
averaged
qualifiers there. No, okay, fine. That's the ultimate argument ender. Is that sound?
He got us there.
Yeah, I ain't wrong.
You are, though.
Nobody
Number 4.
wants to say I'm
Number
right.
4.
The home team's not wearing white. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I think they need to bring it to the NFL because I'm just sick of it. I know I might be on my own here.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, Juju. This is a great take.
Let's get some uniformity across the league. Number 3, the new kickoff rules.
I agree.
I like him.
I like him.
Like y'all said earlier, bro. Like, it just takes the drama out. It put more importance into the kickoff than the touchdown that was just scored. Like, come on, brothers. Like, at least let's put this thing at the 25 or the 20. The wrong flag before this, offsides on the extra point, you in field goal range. So I don't like it. Let's get rid of it.
I think you should get the ball at the 1.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're a sucker.
Yeah, let's
Admit
see.
you cried.
I did not cry.
You got emotional.
Admit you were quoted in that awful announcing article about local broadcasters.
I will not confirm or deny.
Number 2. Put it on the poll as well, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Do you like the new kickoff rules, yes or no?
We're getting a lot of kickoff returns that are decent and fun and exciting. Turpin had one yesterday that almost went for 45 yards. It's like just a regular play.
Yeah, but it's still a bit. I don't know. I'm frowning upon it. I'm not saying it's bad.
I'm with you,
I'm just
Juju.
frowning upon it.
I'm with you. I think inside a minute, you should get the ball at the 1 yard line.
Inside a minute.
Prove
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Number 2, it's so bad I got to bring it back to the NBA. The NBA pro step, bro. Like, we're not. What are we doing? It's a travel, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5 steps, 6 steps these days, plus a jump back. I don't like it at all. Get it out of my sport.
Someone with the guts to say it.
Number 1.
And number 1, replay assist.
Slippery
I thought we
slope.
were supposed to.
Slippery
right,
slope.
I thought we was making the game better. So the first drive down the field, the Patriots, clearly he dropped the ball. No, replay assistants in Secaucus just making coffee, I guess. But whenever it's somebody on the Buffalo Bills squad, replay assist jumped straight in and said, no, incomplete pass, save your challenge, Vrabel.
Very slippery slope of they just get to decide when the referees in the sky
let me ask
decisions.
you guys this question, because McDermott didn't end up suffering this because he ended up winning the game, and Vrabel is viewed as a master tactician. But I was wondering this when it happened to McDermott. If the only time a coach is going to throw the flag is when he's got the video support, what are you asking for leadership from the coach? Like on questionable stuff that looks suspicious when a guy is making a great catch and you're looking and you're waiting and the Patriots are rushing up to the line and the coach is just sitting there, somebody give me video. What's the point of having the coach in a leadership position if he's just going to wait for someone to tell him, hey, we've got video support of this? Doesn't on occasion, if you see the Patriots are rushing to the line, shouldn't you just throw the flag out there because it's a giant play? I'm asking seriously here. Isn't that what you want from your leadership, or you just want him to wait and be told when it is that video supports his decision-making?
I got an easier solution. Since it's the first half, go ahead and burn the timeout. Just burn the timeout. It's the first half timeout. It's not as important as you would think the second half timeout.
And let the eye in the sky look it over.
Exactly. You feel me? Come on. I'll burn that first timeout rather than burning that challenge.
What do we have for reckless speculation? You're going to have to give me the imaging here, Chris, so that we can not be irresponsible.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation. You're good.
The referees had Cody Parkinson on their fantasy teams.
I don't think you can say that.
Wow.
That's too reckless.
That's a very deep lead, by the way.
Playoff time.
He's
Playoff
ascended.
time.
He's getting a lot of targets.
I mean, Cody Parkins.
Did he have 2 touchdowns yesterday?
I mean, America knows he has 1, but the stat book says he has 2. And come on, like y'all said earlier, he was down at maybe the 2-yard line, let alone the 1.5-yard line. So, yeah, I see you, referees. Allegedly.
I don't think you can do that. I think that's irresponsible. It's a bridge too far. Let's update the polls at Le Batard Show. What do you have for us in the way of updates here, Juju?
Did you foresee a circumstance where the Dolphins' season would last longer than the Chiefs' season? 89% of the audience says no, they did not.
It's weird.
Right.
Changing of the guard.
Do you love it when the sports announcer yells, "Holy guacamole"? 72% of the audience says, yes, they do.
What?
Does anyone care about that Saints-Carolina result yesterday? Because that's a horrible loss for Carolina. Everything about it is horrible, including a late hit that put the Saints in position to win the game.
Did it surprise you?
Late.
Did it surprise you that the Carolina Panthers would screw it?
It didn't, because their season was over after they beat the Dolphins,
exactly
as
right.
I said.
Oh, sorry. I lost my place in the polls. But while I found it, I just want to send another shout out to, because I spent like Zaz. Friday night, I was glued in to the Undertaker. You feel me? And I was glued into the front time and what was taking place. And, brother, hats off, congratulations. Great post-game speeches from the owners, let alone the passion that Manu showed at the post-game service as well. And the owner come on there spraying champagne, man. No better deserving champions than the ones we're looking at right there.
Mike, I heard my dog Glenn Rice was there.
Yeah, if you would have told us when we were kids, Glenn Rice would be congratulating us
Hell
on
yeah.
our championship.
He was for sure frustrated with we had such a big crowd there that we were like blocking. His people had to tell us like, come on guys, like, because like he was sitting in the middle of the 2 ownership groups and ours was piling over. There were multiple times where he had a not Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice's person was like, can you guys block? You're blocking Glenn Rice's view. We had like 30 people up there. It was insane. What a night.
And what emotion as well for the other squad. I felt bad because the last competitors, the last 2 people on the other squad, every time they missed a point, one of their players was so dejected. And he was just screaming at the top of his lungs, ah! Neither here nor there. It's 12.5 times bigger than the actual human being, too big for a statue. 74% of the audience says, yes, it is too big.
Yeah, well.
Does an excited Fernando Mendoza sound like Jeremy looks? Come on. 92% of the audience says, yes, it does.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
That's true. I can't deny it.
Is Josh Pate too young to have birdies talking to him in his ear? He tweeted out as soon as it was 100% no, but 78% of the audience says, yes, he is too young to be using that phrase.
Wow.
And last poll, is Desmond Bain on a villainous run of pervading shenanigans? 88% of the audience says yes, and those are your polls.
Juju, thank you. Good talking to you. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, God bless you, babe, and enjoy Chinooka.